know where the LAV was. Way out here is now engined one of the BMPs. Oh, are they gonna hit it? Oh! They took down the LAV-6. What an ATGM shot under pressure. What's up, everybody? We're diving into our first Friday night fight match. This is the Middle Eastern Alliance versus the Canadian Armed Forces, both using their combined arms battle groups. It'll be a matchup of BMPs versus LAV-6s, all taking place on LASHKAR Valley Advanced and Secure version 2. The Middle Eastern Alliance will be spawning at the South Main, while the Canadian Armed Forces will be spawning at the North Main. All the objectives on this LASHKAR Valley layer follow the middle of the map along the river, but a key component of controlling the middle lane is controlling the hills around them on the east and west of the river. So let's dive into the round, but first hit the subscribe button, leave a like, drop a comment down below with your thoughts on Friday night fights or this first match, and let's get to it. And here they come. They're going to be coming around this bend, and this bend can get a little sketchy depending on how far the MEA pushes up, but it looks like they're going to stop closer to the fourth cap for now. Like I said, if MEA gets to this hill, they can prevent CAF from really being able to hold this area. That's when it gets a little bit sketchy. And we are getting close to first contact. Either this Logi or the LAV-6 here is going to start. Yep, there we go. And I'm kind of surprised the LAV-6s did not run together. They're split. But I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. This is a mech inf push. They better start dismounting, and they do. Oh, we got a wipe of that other vehicle that was on this eastern side. Complete wipe, it appears. That is wiped out. All this LAV-6 still can cause some problems. They have a whole push of infantry moving up, and they are going to have some assistance here soon. You've got Squad 3 and the LAV-6, it looks like, over there kind of helping. Maybe, potentially, they can shoot over here across the river, cause a little bit of havoc. This was an intense mech infantry push by DS, pushing up on this hill. Let's see where the BMP-2s are. That is going to be the main threat. We've got one BMP-2 here. Oh, that's the BMP-1 leading the charge, but they've got an LAV-6 ahead of them. I'm waiting for some ATGMs to start flying. Oh, do they see each other? Not quite. They're scooting up. They're scooting up. It's two LAV-6s stacked in a wolf pack. The BMP-1 doesn't know it's there. Oh, no. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I think the BMP-1 is going to get cooked. And now you've got the BMP-2 by itself on this side. This eastern side. The other BMP-2 is on the western side of the river. I'm not sure. It might be able to actually help if it moves up far enough. Oh, he hears them. Looks like the LAV-6s are taking a little bit of damage up here. So one LAV-6 is smoking, two are smoking. We got the third one still hanging out on this western side. It looks like they may actually get away. So they've taken a BMP-1 with them, but the BMP-2s live for now. We got some rocket fire coming in. I think it's from the BRDM. Let's take a look at the map. We've got a pretty good spread of the MEA infantry across the map. And again, we are on the MEA side, so everybody in blue is going to be MEA, whereas the red all going to be CAF. LASHKAR's completed, so now the middle point being Malgar is going to be controlled by MEA. Now, here comes the hills, and where the hills become pretty significant in terms of being able to control a lot of the map, because I do think if you have a hold on these hills, you can control the middle. And what is going to be super critical here is that these guys take the exteriors and try to control it, or else you can easily get outflanked. Here comes one of the LAV-6s poking south side of their point here, covering up. Ooh, good hit. Oh, he missed. I thought that hit. That one. Oh, that one hit. They are actually on fire. They're burning. It's going to be tough. They need to pop smoke. Pop smoke. There you go. Oh, they might need to aim it a little bit more to the upper right side of the front of the vehicle. Ooh, and that LAV-6 is down. So now it's 2 LAV-6s. I think they still have their BMPs up and running. Just the BMP-1 was taken down. The tank for the MEA is going to be up in about a minute and a half. Let's see. We got some KOF up here on the hill. They are still controlling some of this. It looks like there's a little bit of an infantry skirmish going here on the west side. Let's take a look at the east. We've got SPH, it seems, moving up on the eastern side, along with some TWS and friends. We've got a UNN up there. Slowly advancing on this eastern side. Oh, the BMP-2's got a sneaky spot here, hiding behind the carcass of the BMP-1. The BMP-2s are still playing their spots. They really haven't moved that far off their positions. Let's see. So it looks like TWS is playing a little bit more defensively on the back hab here. At least they have a few folks just holding down security. Little do they know, no one's really pressuring it yet. But they do, looks like, ooh, we got a sneaky group coming up here on the hills. To the east side of Cotton Ball. I'm not sure if he's aware of that yet. Looks like a hab got snuck in over here to start maybe applying some pressure in like a form of a flank. MEA has a decent amount of control over this hill for now until Squad 2 from CAF might push in behind them. That might, like if they're able to burn 9's rally, they might take control over here. You've got some CAF actually pushing south now. Infantry moving into this hold. And that is going to wake up some of these folks. There's a Samir hiding here in the woods. I didn't even see. They have just set up a defensive spot, and they're asking the CAF group to push down here. Currently, MEA is ahead 299 to 257. You can check that on the top right or on the scoreboard. So they've got a little bit of an advantage, about 40 tickets between the two. This RTB BMP-2 is just hanging out. Do they have a repair station nearby as well? Ooh, the T-72 is backing them. Yeah, that is not going to be a fun push on top of that hill. Still plenty of CAF up here, but they're going to be slowed down heavily by the BMP-2 watching it. They've got decent optics. Looks like we got one of the LAV-6s backing off. Another LAV-6 sort of holding security just a little bit further back, but they're going to have eyes on that western side. So we have a little bit of a stalemate happening. Okay, Squad 2 that was coming in on the flank is now making an advance onto the defensive point. This would be the second defensive point for MEA. They got a rally down. Mortars are up and running. New Cool, I don't think knows that they're here yet. We got about 3 guys moving into the town. Rally is back here. So my guess is they take down the mortar guy, and then they're all going to be aware that someone is hanging out here. And all he knows. Oof! New Cool goes down. Got snuck up on. Pie's now mobile. This was a solid flank. The hab is now offline. Thankfully, Squad 10 has a rally on the southern side, so they're going to be able to respawn and hopefully get back over here. There's one more MEA guy alive down here. Now, the benefit of taking down this the radio is it's 20 tickets, so CAF could technically even up the score a little bit. We're now at 285 for MEA, 238 for the CAF. There's 3 guys basically holding the radio right now. I'm listening to some comms. It looks like they're trying to arrange for better defense here on the objective. MEA has a good push on the western side of LASHKAR. They're going to start applying pressure as long as the vehicles don't cause a little bit of a problem. We do have some MEA actually working on a strong flank behind LASHKAR. So this is kind of interesting because now you can start cutting off some of their supply lines, especially if this BRDM is able to kind of camp out up here. But you have some infantry also filtering in from the west and the north. So now they're going to start to bottle up some of what's going on in LASHKAR and start applying pressure. So even if the CAF forces to completely disrupt what's on this back point that we've been monitoring, it looks like MEA may make some progress towards being able to disrupt everything going on here at LASHKAR. More guys are starting to filter in. I don't know how aware CAF is of this push. Oh, if MEA can take this radio, LASHKAR could be available with the amount of people they have here. They do have, CAF still has some folks on the southern side. All right, it does look like MEA lost a radio. So now the split is 248 for MEA, 209 for CAF. We got the T-72 hanging out on the hill. Love to see it. So we've got John G's in a helicopter above the Leopard. Way out here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it without flying up a little bit more. We got some distance fog at play here. Oh, there it is. There's the Leopard hanging out on the hills. What, dude? That is a hell of a drive. That is a hell of a drive right there. Ooh, taking a shot from the T-72.
I think they just have a rally on that fucking tap D on my defense mark. Okay. Good shit.
I'm trying to see.
Well done.
Oh, they got the Leopard. The Leopard goes down. That's a 15 ticket loss for CAF. It's now 245 MEA, 185 for the Canadian Armed Forces. Let's see what's going on with this radio. We know that the MEA lost one of their defensive radios. We do have some MEA pushing onto the LASHKAR radio for the Canadian Forces. Again, if it is still here, it appears to be untouched currently. It does look like they are holding it and trying to maintain proxy on the HAB so that the Canadian Forces cannot respawn here and resupply with troops. It does look like the Canadian Forces currently are pinned back a little bit and slowed down by this. That BRDM we saw sneaking around earlier has actually moved further south. You still have some Canadian Forces hanging out around here. If they can get some revives, and they can be a little bit of a menace. But currently it looks like they're playing pretty far off what is the most active area, being LASHKAR. This would be a big grab for the MEA side. If they can take it from CAF, that would be about a 60 ticket boost. Looks like another Logi coming in. Are they going to resupply while the radio's sort of hostage? Let's see how this looks. Oh, they do have the radio down a layer, meaning the Canadian Forces cannot spawn here. And they are trying to hold this. We got Acid and Nomi. Oh! Another one down. They are coming in here a little bit scattered, it looks like right now. Acid's holding an angle. There's another one walking in. Oh, shooting through the metal. That's sneaky. They have cleared Acid now. He laid in the body. They're going to repair the radio. They're choosing to keep the radio up and just reinforce the position. It was staged, meaning they can't spawn on the HAB, even if the HAB becomes unproxied for at least, 30 seconds or so. We do have some more MEA pushing in from the north side. They've maintained a pretty decent amount of guys up here. So now you have a ton of Canadian Forces getting either hopefully picked up, revived in this building. You still have pressure around the outside. So even if they start to expand off of their radio and their HAB that they're trying to get all back up and running, you have more guys pushing in. So now you've consolidated the force into basically a building or so with more MEA pushing on the building. Meanwhile, the Canadian Forces don't have a lot of map control to the south of this area yet. They do have some bodies out there, though. They are still going to be a nuisance for maybe vehicles driving up the main roads. My only concern at this point is that this push is coming in at a time when you might need more bodies trying to control the hill around LASHKAR, this objective up here that we've been monitoring. You still have a bunch of MEA applying pressure to it, and you have their HAB up to the north, which is going to be kind of sneaky over time. I hear the BMP firing off. Let's go see what's going on with armor real quick. Oh, I hear an ATGM flying. Hitting the BMP. So now they are gray smoke. Dark gray smoke. Okay, yeah, they took down the tow. What hit them? So the ATGM has been disabled. They're trying to get repaired up. The other BMP-2 can come help. The BMP-1 is back in play, and the T-72 is setting up here now. MEA is in a good position now. They've got the HAB offline again. Let's go see what's going on inside this building. Radio is fine, so they're just proxying. Basically, they have enough people around the HAB to prevent the Canadian Forces from actually spawning on the HAB. So they've got several people around here making the HAB unreliable for spawn, disabling it. You've got the BMPs rolling in very aggressive. The score is now 222 to 136 in favor of MEA. Canadian Armed Forces, I think their attempts at applying pressure on the southern side is now just going to put them out of play. They need to get up here and try to lock down LASHKAR a little bit tighter. MEA now has control over the radio, and you are running out of folks to protect it. That radio might be lost for the Canadian Armed Forces. And at this point, you have the MEA on the opposite side of the river on the northeast side, which is going to be cutting off supply routes for the Canadian Armed Forces to resupply. It's time for the CAF to start getting something up, maybe at a defensive position. Oh, Squad 2 going for another radio. That was the group that pushed this town, took out a radio here. They are also on the hunt for this radio that is out to the west side. This is where the repair station is for the friendly armor of the MEA, and they are encroaching on the radio position. This setup is vulnerable right now. You've got a good group of guys pushing in towards this radio. About, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folks. They're going to probably get on the hab here in a moment. Clear it. They can proxy that with what they have and start moving towards the radio if they don't already hear it. You're going to hear that upwards of about 50 meters away from where they are, emitting the typical radio sound. Let's go hop back up here. It does look like the MEA took this radio. They are now capping LASHKAR, which could end up being about an 80-ticket swing in favor of MEA. CAF is now down to 86 tickets. MEA has 214. Oh, I didn't even know where the LAV was. Way out here is now engined one of the BMPs. Oh, are they going to hit it? Oh! They took down the LAV-6. What an ATGM shot under pressure. That LAV gone. What a good shot. Taking down that helicopter, trying to. Can he get it? Oh, is it going to get out? It's going to get out. Just got out of the way. Looks like the other BMP-2 got caught up here by... What is that? Is that a hat kit? Hanging out. Yep, that's a hat kit. Spitfire getting the BMP-2 kill. So now they only have a BMP-2 and a BMP-1 available, but one of them is injured. A BMP-2 is going to have to RTB for repair. It's going to return to base, try to get repair rearmed. It does look like CAF is trying to get sort of set up here for a defensive hold, but we've already got MEA in position to start scoping this out. And they have a hab down here to the southeast side. Yeah, so Pi is calling out that they do have a hab going up on the defensive to try to hold the position over here, but they do not have infantry here yet. It is now 252 to 55. Pretty big disparity there. Let's see what happens on this objective. I don't know that CAF is going to have enough folks. They do have a pretty strong push actually coming in LASHKAR, so they might be able to actually snag that back. It does also seem that they have some pressure at the hab that the MEA set, but you got their BMPs watching it, so. And here comes the artillery. For those of you that have not played Squad or haven't heard this, it's intense. This might be able to knock down the Canadian Forces hab. So it looks like he just has the hab in the radius. Let's see if this will knock the hab. You might have people inside trying to keep it up. It does look like there's at least one person inside the hab trying to maintain it. But that'll cut off. Like if they had a respawn there,
Other than that, hab mark is accurate.
that would have cut off anybody pushing the defensive point. So it does look like the hab will stay online. They can get spawns here to start getting onto objective. But MEA has enough people here to start cap. It does look like MEA has been able to hold their hab up here, but enemy infantry is near it. And actually chasing the BMP. So they do know the hab is here, right? Looks like they may be playing the defensive on the hab, just trying to keep it alive to continue to hold LASHKAR from the Canadian Armed Forces. They don't want to give that flag back if they can. That would be another chunk of tickets. So now you do have respawns coming in on this hab for the Canadian Forces to get to their defensive objective, which at this point is October. Right now, you can see you still have some red, meaning Canadian Armed Forces, hanging out on these hills on the southern side of LASHKAR towards the west. So if this tank rolls up, if there's a hat kit or a lat kit, they can potentially track it, slow it down, keep it out of the fight a little bit longer, maybe destroy it. But it looks like the tank sees some of this. Someone just ate a shell. It is now 236 to 42. Let's see if we get the shot off. Let's see if we can track the tank. Ooh.
I want to assume that the radio's
Tank is tracked. If there's an airstrike available, that's a good opportunity, but you got to do it fast. Looks like they already have someone out. They have a 3-man tank crew, so they are already starting to repair the tank. You do have MEA still trying to defend LASHKAR, but you have plenty of Canadian Armed Forces slowly creeping into the objective. I just don't know if it's going to be in time, especially as the next objective is getting captured by the MEA. You have some TWS and RTB, it appears, hanging out here at October, holding it and holding back any push from the Canadian Forces HAB to the north. There is an LAV-6 inbound. Let's see if they can actually assist in this infantry push. Uh-oh, we got a BMP on fire. That's a BMP-1 burning currently. The airstrike was a little bit too late, I think, and they were able to get away. So the airstrike, I was saying you got to get out really, really quickly. Ineffective. The tank was already back mobile, so it did not affect the tank. LAV-6 already taking a shot from a lat. You've got the BRDM-2 coming up behind the LAV-6. Oh no! With the rockets to finish the round. 205 to 0 in favor of the MEA. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We've got about a 60 kill difference between the two teams, as well as double the vehicles killed for MEA over the Canadian Armed Forces. Otherwise, the round went heavily in favor of MEA, which I thought was going to have some issues maybe with all the tracked vehicles versus the wheeled vehicles for the Canadian Armed Forces. That's a wrap on LASHKAR Valley, MEA versus the Canadian Armed Forces. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more updates on Friday Night Fights, as well as some more VODs from our first event.